Hi guys, it's Halen from GAK.co.uk here, and today we're going to be checking out some overdrive pedals. So this is my triple overdrive pedal shootout. So I've got three different overdrive pedals. The first one we're going to be checking out is the Pinnacle Deluxe by Wampler effects pedals. I've got two guitars. I've got a Fender Custom Shop Journeyman Strat, and I have the brand new Fender Offset Telecaster as well. Both of these guitars and the pedals are going through one of my favorite amps around at the moment, the Fender Bassbreaker 15, which is just an absolute gorgeous sounding amplifier. Both of these, this head, is going into an Engel 212, which has got vintage 30s in. So yeah, let's get to the first pedal, which is the Pinnacle, and we'll use the Strat. Cool, so you know what the guitar amp sounds like clean. Here is a little reference with the Stratocaster. So that's just the clean signal with the Fender Bassbreaker 15. So let's move on to the first section, which is just turning the pedal on. The Wampler Pinnacle pedal has got two different sections. We have the bypass, which is the on and off, and then we have a boost function, just for a little bit more gain. We have our volume and our tone on the left-hand side, and we have our contour and our gain on the right-hand side. And at the top of the pedal, as you see here, we have a vintage modern switch. I'm a massive fan of the vintage sound, it's just a little bit darker. So let's see what it sounds like. So that's the first setting. So as you can see on the EQ, I have the gain just set at 12 o'clock. And that's still a really, really decent amount of drive that you can achieve from the pedal with just the gain at 12 o'clock. But if I use this boost function on the left-hand side here, you get this. So the pedal automatically becomes a lot more saturated, and there is a slight boost in volume as well. So if I turn the boost off, and let's back off on the gain, and we can show you what sort of almost vintagey breaking up sort of tones we can achieve from this pedal. So as you can hear, you get a really, really decent sort of classic breakup tone there as well. But the cool thing is if you use the boost function on that model as well, then you can use it as a sort of a solo boost. If you wanted to use this as your rhythm tone, and then you wanted to use the boost function just to be like your solo boost, then that is a really, really useful way of using this pedal. So let me show you what it's like when we really, really push the gain on this pedal, and we can see how much drive you can actually achieve out of it. So this is the first stage again, so just turning the pedal on. So there is an incredibly large amount of drive on tap. The good thing is, because it is such a sort of a thick, dark, warm sounding overdrive, you can get away with that much drive on a Strat if you wanted to use it for a lead sound. Cool, so what I'll do now is I'll grab the offset Telecaster and I'll run through some of the settings on the pedal and we can see what it sounds like with that guitar. Cool, so that was the Pinnacle Deluxe with the two guitars. Now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the Xotic AC Plus. Okay, so with the same sort of premise as the last one, we have a 2-button overdrive pedal here. Now this one is riddled with buttons, so let's move through them. So on the right-hand side, we have channel A. And with channel A, we have our volume and our gain and our little micro tone knob here that you see in the middle. Also, we have a channel boost function, and that is just channel A. In channel B, it's a little bit more extensive on the EQ side. So we have our bass, middle, and treble 3-band EQ. We have an awesome little button, which I really like, which is a compression. When it's in, it's hard compression, and when it's out, it's soft compression. We have our volume and our gain as well. But if you look in the middle here, you have the capability of moving the overdrive into each other in different ways. So when the button is in, it moves from A to B, and then when it is out, it moves from B to A. So we'll try both of those out. So seeing as I have the offset telecaster already plugged in, we'll try it with this. So here is the clean signal, once again, just with this guitar. So let's turn the pedal on and see what channel A sounds like. Really beautiful, expressive sounding pedal. I'm a massive fan of the Xotic stuff. I think it sounds really good. So that was just channel A on its own with the tone quite high. It is a very dark sounding pedal. What I really do like about it when you stack the overdrives on them is that you get that whole fusion-y sort of jam to it. So this is channel A and this is channel A into channel B. So the switch is in and it's going A falling into B. At the moment, the pedal's compression setting is set to hard, so the button is in. Bass is at 12 o'clock, mid is a little bit further, and so is the treble. Gain, both the gain stages are set at 12 o'clock. Let's check it out. So when you're moving channel A into channel B, you get this really sort of, I don't know, it's like a fuzzy on the top end sort of situation, like you would get on a fuzz pedal if you backed it off quite a bit. So let's go back to just channel B on its own and see what that sounds like. So it's really nice having that sort of compression setting on there so you can sort of mess around with it. So let's turn them both off. Let's bring the switch out again. So all I have to do now is turn them both on at the same time. And we can cycle between the sort of the falling into each other in the opposite directions. So as I said before, let me just push it in one more time. So this is A into B. So now that I've pushed the switch, this is B into A. So there is a difference between the tonal capabilities. There is a lot a lot of variation on this pedal, having both of the channels like the Wampler, but having all the different executions you can achieve via the EQ, the sort of the compression, the falling into each other, the cascading style gain, and then the channel boost as well. So this was the offset Telecaster. Let me grab the Strat and we'll demo some tones with that. So that was the Xotic Pedals AC Plus Overdrive pedal. So let's move on to our last one, which is the PlexiTone by Carl Martin. Cool, as I said, the last one is the PlexiTone by the company Carl Martin. So this is a much more basic pedal compared to the other two, but in no means does it sort of lay back. It does not rest on its laurels, this pedal. This pedal is an incredibly good pedal. So we have the three basic overdrive settings. We've got level, tone, and drive. So what we'll do is we'll set tone and drive at 12 o'clock and we'll just see what it sounds like. I'll start off with the Strat, seeing as that was the last one that was plugged in, and we will go from there. So let's see what the PlexiDrive sounds like. So this pedal is just a straight up awesome rock and roll style overdrive. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a Marshall cranked to the hell point. So that was just the drive at 12 o'clock. So instead of going full throttle, let's back off on the drive and see what sort of low gain tones we can achieve out of it. So this is a very hot pedal. That is the gain backed off quite substantially, and it's still quite a lot of drive there on tap. So let's go full throttle and see what the pedal sounds like then. So there is a hell of a lot of overdrive on this pedal. The cool thing is that, as it would sort of anyway, is that as you crank the drive, the compression starts to really kick in, and you can hear it sort of really come into it. So this is at 12 o'clock. The Strat is a little bit more twangier. As I crank the drive, so the twang is still there from the Strat, but there is a lot more sort of compression, so it's a lot darker sounding. So let's move on from the Strat and then plug in the Telecaster and see what we can get out of that. So there you go. That was the trifecta overdrive pedal shootout using this awesome brand new offset Telecaster, which is absolutely awesome. We used this Fender Custom Shop Journeyman Stratocaster. That was going into the Fender Bassbreaker 15, and the pedals were the Carl Martin PlexiTone, the Xotic AC Plus, and the Wampler Pinnacle Deluxe. That was going through the Angle 212. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little shootout that I made up. Cheers.